time to crack open the sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
Bulldog Sports Page brought to you by Kaufman and Lynn, injury attorneys. What do you say, Bulldog?
What is happening, gents? A cheap plug here. Read my column in today's Orlando Sentinel. It's about the most powerful man in college football, the super agent Jimmy Sexton, and how he goes about his business. It's unbelievable. The guy has a monopoly on the best coaches in college football. He gets coaches raises for getting jobs, like Kalen DeBoer, who took the Alabama job from Washington, and he gets guys big raises when they don't take jobs, like Mike Norvell, Steve Sarkisian, and all the rest. So, interesting.
Show me the money, baby.
Oh, he's unbelievable. He cannot be stopped.
He's the money man.
He's got like 11 of the 14 coaches in the SEC. He's got 3 of the big 4 in the state of Florida. Every major coach is practically he represents. So he just manipulates the system. But good for him.
That's
I wish
business.
he represented me. Right?
Yeah.
By the way, Lynch, you said, I think I asked you, was it Monday I asked you if you would pay Tua a big, lucrative, long-term contract, and you said yes, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I don't think he's going to get it because I don't know if you know who Dave Hyde is. He's a long-time columnist at the South Florida Sun-Sentinel's, written books on the Dolphins.
He was the one who wrote the column that said Mike McDaniel should be on the hot seat.
No,
right?
that was not him. That was
who
Chris
was that?
Perkins.
Okay.
That was Chris Perkins. No, Dave Hyde did not write that.
Okay.
But Dave Hyde's written books about the Dolphins. He's been covering the Dolphins for decades. So he wrote a column yesterday essentially saying, no, the Dolphins should not pay Tua long term. He needs to prove himself again. And again, he's well connected within the organization. I think that's coming right out of the organization. I don't think they're going to pay him. I think
what you're the GM of the Dolphins, Dog. Mm-hmm. What do you do next? I mean, you brought in all these high-profile, high-skill specialty players, and you're loaded at just about every position. And
a bunch of them got injured.
Well, every team deals with that.
Yeah, I think you just have to. I think you have to go through next year, let Tua play out the 5th-year option on his contract, and see if he indeed is a franchise quarterback. I mean, franchise quarterbacks lead their team to something. Whether it be Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson,
bro. I mean, he led him somewhere when you were saying it's like
he was hurt last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, he didn't really lead him to the playoffs last year, but
that's true.
He did lead him to the playoffs this year, but they fizzled out at the end of the season. They could have had home field advantage in the playoffs, and maybe they'd still be in the playoffs.
You know what I think they need to do? What? Invest some money on building an indoor Arctic facility that gets temperatures down to sub-zero, and they spend some time late in the season playing and preparing in those conditions.
There you go.
I'm trying to think outside the box here.
Speaking of the Dolphins-Chiefs playoff game, a streaming record on Peacock averaged 23 million viewers. That's the most viewers ever for a streaming audience. And it actually outdrew the first round of the playoffs last year on NBC. Looking at last year's first round playoff game between the Chargers and the Jaguars on NBC, averaged 20.6 million viewers. The game on Peacock, now it's a better game, obviously, Miami and Kansas City. But it averaged 23 million. What does that mean? It means there's going to be more streamed games in the future, right?
Hold on a second. Just being devil's advocate here. I'd like Peacock, and they won't do this. Why don't you share at the end of the month how many cancellations you get? People who just bought it for 1 month to have that game, and then they'll turn right around and cancel it because they don't want to pay every month for that.
Yeah, but the NFL doesn't care.
I know the NFL doesn't care.
They don't care if people canceled. All they care is they got $110 million from Peacock to televise one game.
Yeah.
And man, they pimped the hell out of it. They were shoving that Peacock down your throat, weren't they? I mean, every minute it was, on Peacock Network. And
So big and feathery.
I know. I was like, come on, man.
Colorful, too.
Quit spreading your wings, Peacock.
Yeah, they got me. I paid my $5.99. Now I just need to figure out how to cancel my subscription.
Right. There you go. All right.
The Falcons have interviewed Bill Belichick. Now they've interviewed Jim Harbaugh. That came out yesterday. So Harbaugh actively pursuing NFL jobs, or maybe he's just gauging the market. I don't think Jimmy Sexton represents Jim Harbaugh, so I don't know if he's trying to get a bigger raise out of Michigan, but Michigan's going to pay him essentially whatever he wants. The question is does he want to stay in college football and deal with the NCAA investigations that are going on, or does he want to move on to the NFL?
Michigan granted him the request of not being able to fire him with cause pending any kind of NCAA investigation.
Well, that's
findings.
what he wants in his new contract.
I think they agreed to that, didn't they?
I thought they were dickering back and forth. Maybe they did agree to it.
Right.
So, speaking of the NFL and coaching jobs, looks like Mike Tomlin. There were rumors that he may leave Pittsburgh. He stormed out of the press conference after the loss on over the weekend. Wouldn't answer a question about his future. Well, it's been reported that he does plan to be back with the Steelers next year. So we shall see what happens.
All right, Mike the Bulldog Bianchi from AM 740 and FM 96.9 The Game. Check him out any morning. Jason to us, we appreciate you giving us your time. Sports Page brought to you by Kaufman and Lynn, injury attorneys.
That's right. Listen to Under Oath with attorney Jeff Kaufman every Saturday morning, 7:30 on FM 96.9 The Game. Catch extended versions of Under Oath by searching for Under Oath with Jeff Kaufman on your favorite streaming platform.
Taco on demand. Download the iHeartRadio app.